Hey everybody, Zach from Say What Zach here. We are officially done with all the hockey games tonight. All the American Hockey League is done. All the National Hockey League is done. National Hockey League was a little bit done a while ago comparatively to the American League, but it's okay. One of the teams I was sitting there watching the score, and then they tied it in overtime and all that fun stuff. Anyways, we are done. Time to do the review. First game of the night was the New Jersey Devils taking on the Anaheim Ducks. I took a lot of notes, wrote down a lot of fun things on here. So, I'm going to start doing a new series. I'm working on some of the research and some of the stuff for it, of just looking at the top prospects of each team, according to the Hockey News, their annual that came out. They're like the top 10 prospects in the system for each team, kind of looking into it and seeing how they're doing this year on the teams they are playing with. So I'm kind of just doing research. So I wrote down the players that were kind of called up. You guys can see. You can see like Sam Steele and Jack Hughes and all that fun stuff. Anyways, so I kept keeping notes on some of those players just so I can start doing those videos after the top line videos are done. And then I'm going to be doing some Funko Pop unboxings starting probably Monday once the Christmas break starts. I think I'm going to do a video with each team's Funko Pops that I have and open them up and show you guys all the details and all that fun stuff. So we got a couple of different types of videos coming out soon. Kind of a little preview into what's going to be coming out. Anyways, getting back into this. New Jersey and Anaheim. Miller made a big save. He started this game, Ryan Miller did. 3 minutes into the game on Jack Hughes. Jack Hughes was very noticeable tonight. He gets a point, but he was one of the most noticeable New Jersey Devils on the team. The first period, he was pretty much the only one on the ice that I could see. Like, Jack Hughes was playing for the New Jersey Devils. Everyone else was kind of skating around. They weren't really noticeable. Jack Hughes was noticeable, especially only being 18 years old. I think this kid's going to be something. Some people call him a bust. I think that's bullcrap. He's 18 years old. He's playing on a team that's kind of not the team we thought it was, so still trying to find a new identity, middle of the season. I think he'll be fine. The shots were 4-0 New Jersey 4 minutes in, but Anaheim scores against the flow of the play, making it 1-0. And the score would be Adam Henrique from Case and Cam Fowler at 3:33 of the first period. And scored on. They won 4 of last 18 games. So New Jersey's only won 4 of the last 18 games when they've been scored on first. So that's very surprising considering what happened tonight. Sorry, still trying to read some of the notes. Wrote them relatively quickly because I'm trying to take quick notes, writing all the information, make sure I get all the information right as I'm writing it. Hughes cuts in front of Blackwood, and so Jack Hughes took the puck right in front of Blackwood and lost it, and they almost got a goal off it. It was almost one of those plays where like, you shouldn't be doing that, Hughes. But again, he's a young kid. He's still learning. Again, he was noticeable after that in a positive way, not just negative. It was a fast-paced push by the New Jersey Devils. Even though the Anaheim Ducks did take a little bit of the play to the New Jersey Devils at that point. It's about 7 minutes in. But New Jersey was making sure this was a very fast pace. This period went by quick. There was the only stoppages in this first period were the commercial, like the marked commercial breaks, TV breaks. That's it. There was no real big stoppages. There's no real icings. There was nothing like that. Jack Hughes, again, only one really getting chances. Ludstrom for the Anaheim Ducks. He had a 2-on-1. He shot it off the goal. Didn't get anything of it, but he is one of the prospects that the Anaheim Ducks have in their system. That's supposed to be pretty good defenseman. Second period, quick start for New Jersey. They score 1:30 into the game, into the period. Ducks turning pucks over very early, so there's a lot of turnovers for the Ducks. New Jersey getting a lot of chances. Lundstrom is getting some time on the penalty killing. So again, another future defenseman for this team, getting some penalty killing time right now with the injuries to Troy Terry. And Troy Terry is going to be out 10 weeks with a broken bone. They did say something about that in the third period, so I wrote that note down. Make sure I mention that, because he is also one of the other prospects that this team has been playing with. New Jersey haven't won a game this season, but in 3 days between games, so they have 3 games. They haven't played since Saturday, so when they have 3 days or more off in between games, they have not won that game. So it was a big night for that too. Miles Wood was having a rough night for New Jersey. Yeah, he was like overskating pucks constantly. It was just a really rough night. There was a couple players I noticed having rough nights tonight. Blackwood played amazing. He robbed Silverberg off of a turnover, point blank. It was like just right out in front of the net. Silverberg got a shot right in front of him. Blackwood played very well. You'll see that in the score. Miller stops Hughes on a one-timer in the last 10 seconds. Blackwood robs Getzlaf in the third period, a minute and a half into the period. New Jersey scores seconds after the last power play of the second, so they go into the power play. And then in the second period, it carries over to the third. As soon as it ends, New Jersey scores, I would say, 10 to 20 seconds after it ends. Yeah, it was one of those weird things where it wasn't a power play goal, but they did get a goal because of the power play. One of those weird things. There's a fight from Komtos and Severin at 2.5 minutes in. Turnover by Rooney stopped by Blackwood on turnover by Subban. So Subban, again, making some defensive mistakes. Not good. He still has no points in 21 games now. That's not good. Terry out 10 weeks. Ducks pushing late, 16 minutes in. They pull the goalie 60 minutes in. Lundstrom on the ice for the 6-on-4 as they pull in. They get a power play during that. They pull the goalie, they get a power play, so it becomes 6-on-4. They put Lundstrom on to give him some looks at the net, get the kid some feeling, because that's his second time being called up. I think it's like his third game-ish, something along those woods. Blackwood stands tall. Power plays, the New Jersey Devils go 1 for 4. The Anaheim Ducks go for 0 for 2. And that is kind of, again, a quick little rough rundown of the game. The scoring plays, again, Henrique from Case and Fowler at 3:33 the first. Nico Hischier, which was very noticeable in this game too. He was very good. He's starting to come into his own, I think, finally. A couple years after his draft year, finally starting to come out, I think. 1:28 into the second from Bratt. Palmieri scores 11:29 into the second period from Gusev and Butcher. And then Vatanen scores from Hughes. There's Hughes' point. Didn't put the time in there. It was in the third period, I know that, to make it 3-1. Giving you the shots on goal 20-27 for the Anaheim Ducks, but they lose. So again, 20 shots for the New Jersey Devils is all they needed on Ryan Miller. Ryan Miller didn't play bad. It's just, yeah, that's just what happens. So the season series now is 1-0 Devils. Your 3 stars are Hischier, Palmieri, and Blackwood. So Blackwood did get on the Stars. So again, he had a very good night. Blackwood made sure that the Anaheim Ducks had no way to come back in this game. Your current records now are 11-17-5 in New Jersey, and the Ducks are 14-17-4. So that is your rundown of the New Jersey Devils and my Ducks. Again, still kind of getting used to the whole taking notes, reading the notes, and all that fun stuff. It's a lot of work, but I'm enjoying it. It's a different way of watching hockey. If you've never sat there and taken notes and really tried to watch everything on the ice instead of just watching it for hockey, and it's a little bit more of a job now. So it's a little different watching hockey now. So I'm still getting used to that, watching multiple games, taking the good information, putting it down, and trying to relay it. It's a little bit different than just watching the game for hockey. So please bear with me as I continue to learn this process. Sorry, the second game of the night, Avalanche taking on the Chicago Blackhawks. It's pretty much exactly how we thought it would go. But again, also have some of their prospects that Hockey News has put on here so I can see how they're doing. First, Keith was seeking his 100th goal. He is 1 goal away from 100 goals, so hopefully he gets that soon. I'm hoping he gets it before he retires, because I do like Duncan Keith. He's a really good defenseman. He's helped them win Stanley Cups. He definitely deserves it. Pavel Francouz stops Kirby Dach down low for... Yeah, Kirby Dach looked pretty good. Him and Francouz would have a few back and forth of good shot, good save type of thing going on tonight. The Hawks were passing way too much. Crawford was really good at some points in this game and really bad at other points in this game. So Crawford robs McKinnon on a breakaway. And that's another thing. The Blackhawks gave a lot of breakaways. In like the first period I wrote down here, they had 5 odd-man rushes in the first 19 minutes of the first period. So 5 odd-man rushes, either 2-on-1s or 1-on-0s within the first period. That is amazing. That is way too much, which is why they were so down so early and never really were able to fight back into this game. McKinnon all over the ice. McKinnon, again, playing just as well as he should be an MVP of this year. I'm voting him into the All-Star game if I can as a captain. He has carried this team. He is getting awesome points. I like that I have him on both my fantasy teams as well. He is an amazing player. No denying what McKinnon carries and brings to this team. Second period, Doc gets another chance in the game, doesn't score. The Avs speed is starting to take over at this point. It was 1-0 going into the first, and then it starts to become 2-0, 3-0, and it's just you can tell that the Blackhawks are starting to get outplayed by the better Avalanche. Francouz stopped Saad on a bad line change, so it was a bad line change. They were going to change, and they turned it over. The Colorado Avalanche turned it over, gave it to Saad. Saad had an amazing break chance, and Francouz stopped it because Francouz has been playing very well, which is good to hear for Colorado as well, with Grubauer and him playing well. That's good as well. That's good for the team to have 2 goalies firing off at the same time. The Hawks double teaming McKinnon on power play, so they get the Hawks. There was a couple power plays, not as many. The last game had a lot of power plays. But when the Avalanche did get a power play, the Hawks were double teaming McKinnon. They knew that if they could shut down McKinnon, that power play wouldn't do very well. And you're right, they did not score on the power play. The Hawks did a good job at shutting down that power play. Now, Francouz did get an interference penalty at 14:47 of the second period for interference. It was just one of those things where he went to go play the puck and mishandled it. And so he kind of got in the way and grabbed the guy's stick and held him against it. So they did give the goalie, Francouz, a penalty. Donskoy went to the box to serve it. Nobody would score on it. Nobody scored on either power play. They both went 0 for 2 on the power play. The third period, Ryan Strome shoots a puck off the crossbar, and it goes into the net. There was good shot blocking by the Avalanche. The Hawks tried pushing, but the Avalanche are very good at holding leads. So they condensed, blocked shots, made sure nothing got through to Francouz, and when it did, Francouz stopped it. He didn't have to be amazing, but he had to just be good enough tonight, and that's what you want to see. You don't want to have your goalie be an amazing goalie every single night. You want to have him have a few games where he can just be okay, stop the pucks he has to, but help him carry it, and that's what they did tonight. Alex DeBrincat did take a scary hit from Gerard. He was going to go shoot it, and Gerard hit him after the puck was gone, hit him, and he back fell right into the boards, and he was slow to get up, and there was a big brawl started to happen. At that point, ugliness started to hit him. There was just a lot of hitting, a lot of tapping, and a lot of hits on McKinnon that weren't needed. You can tell these two teams were not starting to like each other. And they play, I think, Saturday, they said. So it's going to be an interesting game Saturday, I believe, is where they play again. The Hawks pulled the goalie at 17 minutes in, and then the Avalanche scored seconds after they pulled the goalie. It didn't matter. So yeah, that's kind of a quick little rundown of that game. The scoring plays. Trying to show mine in the way here. Colorado gets a goal from Cole at 8:41 of the first from Landeskog and Zadorov. Carpenter scores at 9:48 of the first for the Blackhawks from DeBrincat. So again, it was 1-1 after 1. And then, again, in the second period, this starts to get away from the Hawks. McKinnon scores at 7:49 of the second from Rantanen and Lindholm. And then Burakovsky scores 10:08 of the second period unassisted. And then Rantanen scores at 17:04 of the third period from Landeskog and Cole. So again, that was empty netter. Your shots on net, 36-32 for the Colorado Avalanche. The season series is now led 3-0 by the Avalanche. Not surprised with how bad the Hawks have been playing lately. And your 3 stars are McKinnon, Landeskog, and Burakovsky, which are all the Colorado Avalanche. Your current the score was 4-1. I think I may mention that, but in case I didn't, it's up there. But it is 4-1 was the final. Your current records now are 22-9-3 for the Avalanche and 13-16-6 for the Hawks. The Hawks again are not looking great. It's looking like they could end up being one of the dead last teams in the West right now, which I was a little surprised about. I thought they might have a little bit of a bounce back year. I thought they had one more run in them. It's starting to look like that might not be the case. A lot of the talk from the announcers were about should they trade Crawford? What they're going to do with their goaltending? Because they're both, I believe, unrestricted free agents at the end of the year. So do you try and trade Crawford to somebody and try and get something back? It's going to be a situation for Chicago. I think they're going to be sellers at the trade deadline, not buyers. Anyways, on to the last game of the night, the St. Louis Blues taking on the Edmonton Oilers. This one, I checked some notes. The third period I didn't get a lot in because I was writing all this stuff on the boards, getting this all ready to present to you people. Let's see, 500th game for Zach Kassian, so he's now played 500 games and been playing very well for the Edmonton Oilers. I wouldn't be surprised if he signs again with the Oilers because he's actually producing for them. Brouwer hits post 3 minutes into the game. Kyrou second, it was on the second power play unit, so Jordan Kyrou again, he's been called up because of all the injuries. One of those prospects that they talked about was supposed to help come up and be the next big thing for the St. Louis Blues, so they are giving him power play unit time on the second power play unit, seeing how he does. He is playing with, I think, O'Reilly and someone else, so he's getting some good mix in there with some good players. No rebounds from Koskinen earlier. They were shooting a lot, but Koskinen was doing really good. He played really well in this game. It was absorbing everything, not giving the Blues a chance to get any rebounds or any second chances on any shots. McDavid's speed was pushing the St. Louis Blues defense. He was skating around the outside, getting a lot of shots towards the net. You could tell again, McDavid is one of the best players in the league, if not the best. I would argue he is the best, but that's my opinion. And you can see it here. His speed is almost unmatched, from almost a slow skate to a bullet within seconds, and the defense was having a really hard time containing that for the first period. It starts to get more contained as the game goes on. Kassian hits Sundqvist 17 minutes into the period. He draws a crowd. The crowd, obviously being in St. Louis, really wanted to get a penalty. He got nothing. I believe Pietrangelo does get a penalty. Nope, Sundqvist gets a penalty for holding at that point at 16:35. So during that time, Sundqvist is the one who gets the penalty instead of Kassian, and everyone's cheering refs who suck and all that fun stuff. It's not an easy job being a referee in the NHL, being a referee anyway, honestly. It started to get physical late in the period. Allen robs McDavid on the power play. Second period, it was a 5-on-3 early for the Blues, so Clifton gets a delay of game penalty, and shortly after that, Russell gets a cross-checking penalty. 5-on-3. The Draisaitl does get a shorthanded chance on that 5-on-3, doesn't get it, but the Oilers did kill the 5-on-3 off, so that was awesome. I really thought 5-on-3, St. Louis has got at least one in here. They didn't. The Oilers killed it. The Oilers were not getting pucks in deep. It was a big problem that they, especially even the announcers were talking about. They would get it like into the right over the blue line of the St. Louis Blue zone and turn it over, and it led to a lot of shorthanded, like a lot of chances and a goal. Well, I believe the first goal for Luke Shin was, or should I say Braden Shin was a turnover because somebody tried to do too much, turned it over, went back the other way, scored. The Oilers pulled McDavid and Draisaitl from the 4-on-4, so there's a penalty taken by the Oilers, and then the Blues took a penalty shortly after that, made it 4-on-4. They took McDavid and Draisaitl off the ice for that, saving him for the power play is what my opinion was, and then the announcer said it right after that, and it was confirmed they did. As soon as it went, there was like a minute left on the power play, they threw McDavid and Draisaitl back out there, hoping to get something. Didn't work. Klefbom was having a rough second period, so he had a delayed game penalty, and he has another penalty somewhere else. Yeah, he got a penalty at 9:36 of the second period for tripping. So he had a delayed game and a tripping penalty in the same period. He was over skating pucks. Klefbom was having a rough night. He was the other one with Miles Wood. They both were having rough nights that night. Larson saves a goal, so it was like a wide open net. Koskinen stops it. That goes the other way. Wide open net for Justin Falk, and Larson sticks out his leg, blocks it, and doesn't go in. Should have been a goal, but it was an amazing block for Larson. Oilers can't get pressure because of all the penalties. They were going to penalty all this period. This period was a lot of penalties. There was 4 penalties for the Oilers in this period. That's a lot of penalty killing you're doing in one period. Koskinen was standing tall to keep the game close. And then the third period happens. They pull I didn't really, again, take a lot of notes because I was starting to write all this stuff up on the board. I do know they pulled the goalie 18 minutes in. The Oilers do score the goalie pull. The Blues challenge it for goalie interference. The call stands on the ice. That was a goal, so it was no goalie interference. Blues take the penalty, making it now a 6-on-4 power play for the Oilers. They do not score on it. So, again, that was kind of like the last minute hurrah. It happens a lot. I noticed a lot of these games were like, last minute or two of the game is just chaotic penalties and pulling people. And, yeah, I mean, it's something where, like, again, you don't really pay too close attention. But now that I've been watching so much hockey, it happens a lot more than you would think, that how many penalties are called in the last minute or two of the game. That kind of turns the tide sometimes. This one didn't happen, but sometimes it does. Anyways, your finals 2-1 for St. Louis. Your scoring plays are Shen at 8:04 of the second period from Dunn and Schwartz. Then can't speak. Tongue-tied. McIllit-Urchin, I can't even speak. At 6:23 the third, from O'Reilly and Perron. Then Neal at 18:10 of the third period from Nugent Hopkins and Kassian. So Kassian does get a point in his 500th game. And again, Neal goal was, they called goal interference on, I think it might have been Kassian in front of the net, or I know somebody was in front of the net blocking. They said he blocked Allen from getting back, but Allen was outside the ice and he didn't mean to hit him. He got pushed into him, so it was a goal. Anyways, the shots on goal are 44-36 for St. Louis. Your season series is now led 2-0 by the Blues. Your current records now are 22-8-6. Nope. Yes, 22-8-6 for St. Louis. 19-14-4 for the Oilers. Not looking good for the Oilers right now. So your updated standings, not much changed on this board. Not much changed over there. A couple of teams just got some extra points to help them boost, and the Oilers desperately need points they didn't get. So Coyotes still first place with 44 in the Pacific. Golden Knights are 43 with second. Oilers stay in third with 42. Central, the Blues are now 50 points. Colorado second with 47. Winnipeg stays at 42 for third. Wildcards are Dallas with 42 for first, and Calgary 40 for your second. In the Eastern Conference, not much change because only one team played from the East tonight. I didn't even notice that. So it's all the same from earlier. Boston's first, 49. Sabres in second with 39. Montreal in third with 38. The Capitals 43. The Islanders 46 with second. Carolina 44 in third. Then your wildcards are 44 for Pittsburgh in first. 41 for Philadelphia in second wildcard. So most of that stays the same. Yeah, nobody really moves up or down in this chart. In the overall standings, everyone pretty much stays about the same. American Hockey League, over here. I did write down all the scores, all the finals that stayed up for the American Hockey League games. So you had the Utica Comets beating Belleville 4-3. Syracuse beating Bridgeport beating Syracuse 3-2. Charlotte beating Hartford 7-1. Breningville Devils, the Devils. I don't know why I can't remember that team. I know it's the Devils, can't remember the name of the city. Winning anyways over Rochester 2-1. Providence beating Wilkes-Barre 6-0. Milwaukee beating San Antonio 2-1. Colorado beating Manitoba 10-4. That was a huge. I was like, wow, 10-4. Jeez. Ontario winning 4-3 over San Jose, and then the Iowa Wild winning 4-3 in overtime over the Stockton Heat. And those are your scores for the American Hockey League. The big change is Providence moves back into the first with the Atlantic, and that's your big one. Stockton gets a little bit closer to the Roadrunners. But anyways, those are your standings and your scores for tonight, which is Wednesday, December 18th. Hope you guys enjoyed the videos. It's, again, a lot of fun doing all this work. It's so much more fun than anything else I've ever done. And again, I hope you guys enjoy some of the content. If you do, give us a like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys again soon.